Do you feel that your body is holding you back, especially the way you see your body in your mind? So I'm Jared, and if you do like this video, please like it. It really helps spread the message. So let's just dive in and talk about body image and redefining body image. So first of all, I know I'm a guy. I know I have privilege. I know that it might not seem like I'm the most likely candidate to talk about body image, but for the past few years, I've worked at an eating disorder center, and my heart has gone out to a lot of young women, guys, older folk who've come in through these doors, and also with the numerous clients that have struggled with binging that I've helped, just personal training and background, and really sitting. I'm talking sitting with people who struggle with body image. All right. So I know this is a sensitive topic, and I know I might not look like the most likely messenger to be talking about it, but I do have a background where I'm sitting and connecting with people, eating food, and talking with people who really do struggle with this. And so that's where I'm coming from with this. And why I'm making this video is because of the comments all these people will make. I'm thinking especially the anorexic folks that I'll see at the eating disorder clinic, and how frail they are, their bodies. I mean, we're talking 90 pounds, we're talking 80 pounds, sticks, and an offhand comment that they think they're fat, and it it hurts. Seeing these thought patterns, how deeply entrenched they are, is why I'm making this video. It's also because this body image thing, when we're struggling with binging, is oftentimes like a more subtle, pernicious, tenacious, sticky problem. And I want to try to explain why this is so ingrained and why it's so difficult to shift your mind about. And in a quick nutshell, um, we're bombarded by media images. We live in a culture that worships the thin ideal, and we get this image in our head that we're not enough, that no matter how we look, we're not enough. And this idea is cultural. It's hundreds of years old. It is ancient, and it's in the air we breathe. And so this is why it's so difficult to overcome these thoughts. And there's an article down below where I've linked to research that shows that the vast majority of women, 95% or more of women in Western countries, feel that they're dissatisfied with their body. And it hurts. It hurts, like, thinking about all this suffering, all this, all this striving for perfection, to be loved, to be worthy, to be enough, and quite frankly, falling short because it's impossible to reach it. And I want to give voice to this. I think it's important. I think it's important that if you are struggling with body image, to realize the water in which you swim. If you're a fish and you're swimming in water, you can't escape the water, right? So if you're struggling with body image thoughts, it's important that we realize this isn't going anywhere. We have to sort of accept, and we can be proactive about changing things, but in the present moment, we have to accept that we live in a hostile environment that's pervasive, and that your body image struggles, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. And why I say this is because we need an attitude of compassion. We need an attitude of compassion where, instead of falling victim to blame and hating and dieting um, and striving for a goal that depletes you, that is never reached, that keeps you locked in a pattern, that's not the route. That's not the route. The route is the heart. The route is saying, hey, I live in this environment that is hostile, and it is challenging as hell to be in my body, to respect my body, to care for my body. Um, you notice how I'm not saying love my body, because sometimes that's way too much of a stretch. Um, but um, to have compassion for the difficulties. Again, in that article down below, there's research that shows that compassion just really helps women, especially, but guys too. I mean, I'm a big fan of compassion. Jesus, um, it helps. It helps. Okay, it helps. The criticism, the striving, the rigidity, the restriction that can be seen in anorexic patients, the self hatred. It's a poison. It is a nasty poison, and it's floating out in the air, right? It's like toxic air. And if we don't put on the mask of compassion, the protective mask of compassion, we're going to be breathing that air our entire life, and you don't want that. So, if you do want more information, there's that article down below. Traces the history of how the changing body image standards, which are just getting thinner and thinner. The typical example is Marilyn Monroe, 1950s, or blanking on the date, around then, 60s. I really should know this if I'm making a video on it. Anyways, how by today's standards, she would not be a model, and it's a shame. I was just in the car the other day, and a guy friend of mine, guys can be so insensitive, said, "Hey, yeah, I think, man, Marilyn Monroe, like, is, he said some not nice things about Marilyn Monroe, and it just hurt me a little bit. It was like, like, dude, and, he doesn't know about body image and changing standards. He's just speaking the language of the culture, right? And it just it just hurt. So realize that we live in a culture where this is common, and you're going to be exposed to this stuff, and that compassion and and being gentle towards yourself, knowing that this is a really difficult challenge, is the way to go. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. So thank you. If you like this video, please like it. And